Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cooking Up Connectors! Thank you. I'm your host for today's show, Kyle Kruse, aka the MedTech Missile, and today we have a special treat for you. We'll be showing you how to cook up a few single-use medical connectors that are sure to be your go-to favorites when designing and developing your next single-use energy-driven device. Let's get the show started. As you can see, we have all the ingredients that we'll need for today, as well as our trusty recipe, which all of you in the audience and you at home will be getting a free digital copy at the end of today's show. Now, before we get started, I need my trusty chef outfit. Alright, now we're ready to do this. Let's talk about the 3 types of single-use medical connectors that we'll be cooking up today. The first style single-use medical connector we have here is the non-locking, followed by one of my all-time favorites, the breakaway. And lastly, for more intense applications, we have the locking. As you can see, I have all 3 bowls ready to go. The first for non-locking, second for breakaway, and third for locking. All 3 of these connectors will utilize a plastic PSU material, mainly because of its price point. But of course, this plastic PSU material should conform with all regulatory and patient safety requirements. Those requirements might consist of REACH, RoHS, IEC, USP Class 6, as well as ISO 10993. Let's start by adding in the plastic that we've selected today. Oh yeah, yep, there it is. Oh, let's hear it, people. Yeah, look at that. Oh, woohoo! All right. I like to use a little Techno or Apex in my plastic, maybe a little DuPont here and there. You know, it makes for a great consistency. Now that we've added our PVC, let's go ahead and add in the remaining critical design ingredients. First, we'll start with the non-locking. Of course, we have our back shell design. Next, we have our contact insulator, which is where the pins are housed, followed by a little strain relief action here. Now, moving to our breakaway connector, we'll also go ahead and add in our back shell ingredient, as well as our contact insulator. This is where you'll see these latching mechanisms that provide that breakaway functionality. That's, of course, controlling that insertion and extraction force without full locking capabilities. You're gonna get the same great effective cost and price point as that non-locking, but with a little bit more sophistication. Let's go ahead and drop it on in. For our locking connector, there will be a few more ingredients necessary over a non-locking or breakaway, and this will inherently drive cost, but when patient safety is most important, well, we're not going to be as concerned at this moment about that cost. Let's go ahead and add in the ingredients. First, we've got the outer shell. With the outer shell, this is where the locking mechanism comes into play. Go ahead, add the ingredients. Next, we have our contact insulator with the pins, followed by the cable collet, as well as the back nut. There will also be some sort of strain relief that will be required, whether it will be over-molded or added as a slide-on boot. We pretty much have all of our design ingredients included, but there is one more ingredient that we do need to consider, and that's the pins or the contacts. Now, oftentimes we're looking at pins and they're either machined or stamped. When it comes to a single-use medical connector, especially knowing that these connectors are going to come at high volume, it's best to use the stamp pin because it's more optimized for cost, especially if it's a low pin count. Now, with high pin counts and high-density connectors, we are also considering FR4 style contacts or edge card connectors that look just like a printed circuit board. But for today's sake, we have ourselves some stamp pins and some machine pins. Let's start the prepping. Now that our stamped and machined pins are ready to go, let's add them to the bowl. All the design ingredients are finally in their bowls. Now let's mix these bad boys up, pour them in their pans, pop them in the oven, 350 for 45, and we'll have ourselves 3 3 different types of single-use medical connectors just for you. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just about there. The moment you've been all waiting for. Our connectors are almost done baking. Woo! Let's go, baby. 3, 2, 1. Here we go, moment of truth. Oh, yeah. Would you look at these? Huh? Oh. Chef's kiss. How about that locking connector? Oh, baby. Look at this bad boy, huh? All right, let's go ahead and try these out because after all that hard work, well, you've got to try them out. So, first, we'll try the non-locking. Oh my goodness! Smooth like butter, everybody. Smooth like butter. Oh, and here we got the breakaway connector. All right, let's go ahead and find that receptacle, mate. Oh yeah. Oh, you hear that audible click? Oh, goodness gracious. The retention force? Pristine. And how about that locking connector that we all, well, sometimes have to love? Here it is. Oh, man! Feel those latching mechanisms just click and lock. Ooh, that hold is tight. And that locking sleeve, perfect. Well, that concludes our show. Thank you to everyone at home and all of you in the audience today for tuning in. We hope you'll take these valuable design considerations and apply them to your next single-use medical connector. Well, until next time, I'm Kyle Kruse, aka the MedTech Missile, and you're watching Cooking Up!